You're listening to the Morning Punchin' Show with RB and J, live and direct from more cities than an Instagram model's bio. Get ready for some boxing talk on the clock. Let's face it, you're not working and somebody's got to pay for the Wi-Fi.
Good morning, everybody. It is RB and J. This is the Morning Punchin' Show, the most unpredictable, honest, authentic morning boxing talk show in the game. Today is Monday, October 31st, 2016. Happy Halloween for those who like to celebrate Halloween. Our special guest today on Hotline Bling will be TMT fighter Gervonta Davis, a.k.a. Tank. It is Pacquiao Fight Week. Jesse Hart's in a tough fight this Friday night against Phoenix native Andrew Hernandez. That could be an upset in the making. Remember, you heard it here first. Let me bring on my partner in crime, my PIC, the creator and founder of BadCulture.net, Jay. What's poppin', Jay?
Good morning, RB, and good morning, listeners. Just over here kind of peeping the scene early. I got to ask, if anybody was in L.A. who's listening to the show this morning, if you went to Kamikaze, it's one of those dress-up things down at the convention center. Someone sent me a picture. Mike Tyson had a booth at the convention center clocking people for money for autographs. It was like $100 for an autograph, $175 if you wanted some memorabilia signed. So if anybody peeped out Mike Tyson this week at Kamikaze, send us a picture of you at Kamikaze and maybe you'll win something from the Raging Babe store. Other than I never heard of Mike Tyson like clocking people for money for autographs before. That's why it was kind of interesting to me.
You know that annual boxing expo that they do when Floyd was fighting? You know, I think they did one or two of them before, that big expo. I think him and Roy Jones and a couple other people, they were clocking autographs. If they had a booth there, but the deal was they were going to charge per autograph, and people were paying it. Like, they were paying hundreds of dollars for him to sign their gloves, their shirts, and everything else. So he's getting money from each and every direction. His wife is very sharp. We've met her at the Raging Babe brunch, Kiki Tyson. She is the mastermind behind his show, behind everything he's got going on. I ain't even mad at them.
No doubt. And we don't have like an official hot question of the day, but something occurred to me before we jumped on. And it's something we've talked about on this show before many, many times, and we talk about it online. But I just want to know from you guys, do you think trainers are talking way too much to the media these days? Why or why not? Use the hashtag TMPS, and let's see if we can get some responses this morning, because I peeped out some interviews, and I kept thinking, why do I see all this talking from the trainers and none from the fighters and none from the managers and none from the promoters? But it's a whole lot of talking being done by the trainers. So if they talking, they not training.
That is a really, really good question, Jay. I wish we would put it out last night, but you got it here now. Let us know what you think about that. I know Abel Sanchez has kind of become the new Freddie Roach. I mean, every time you turn around, he's in the media. He's saying something out of pocket. I think the other day he said Golovkin would be Kovalev, Ward, and DeGale, you know, like all on the same night. And I'm like, come on, bro. Like, chill. We liked you. Right. You know what I mean? Just stay humble. Stay humble.
We like you a lot, so be cool.
Yeah. So listen, before we get into the show, want to remind you that the lines are open, 718-508-9852. Press 1 to speak your piece. Call in to play Know It or Blow It. We're going to have some boxing trivia. We're going to be giving away some free things. Before we get started, though, I need to talk about something that I just need to announce to you guys. I don't know how else to say this, but I'm pleased to announce that I have partnered up with Top Cost Boxing out of North Carolina to help them rejuvenate the boxing market in North Carolina. This is really, really exciting. I am so honored. Top Cost is making big moves in North Carolina, and they're building the most dynamic promotional team from what I've seen from the ground up in a long time. And the first show is set for February 4th in Wilson. This is the hometown of the young, popular cruiserweight fighter Austin Bryant, who, if you don't know much about Austin Bryant, this kid, when he was 1-0, fought a guy who was 8-0 in Durham, North Carolina, stopped him on his stool. You know, this is the kind of fighters that they're breeding out there in North Carolina, which I love that. There is no blue corner. There is no red corner. They just want to fight. They call Austin the baby assassin, the white kid. Really, really good kid, really good fighter. Jay, what's going on in North Carolina is a lot of the fighters have to fight out of town, and they're having to go to other people's backyards. So the fights aren't fair. You know, they're really lopsided. They're in over their head a lot of times. So what Top Cats wants to do is they want to use their natural resources and their local talent, and they want to put on good shows, and they want to maintain quality and class, and not only to the event, but to all the fighters involved. And I think that is awesome because that is my mission, and that is really what I believe in. They've got good fighters out there. They're going to try to bring the local boxing scene to the forefront. So Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, get ready. You guys have no idea what's about to go down. We're going to bring the ruckus. Top Cats has a great, great team, great infrastructure already. These guys are serious. I'm just proud to be a part of the team. And, Jay, it's about to go down.
That's super dope. I'm really proud of you, and that's a really exciting opportunity. Another platform for these young men to get out there and showcase themselves. That's excellent. Anything to breathe life and further the sport, give these kids an opportunity. You never know where your next champion might be. You never know where your next game changer will come from. So good luck to you. I know you will do a great, great job.
Thank you so much. And, you know, maybe North Carolina isn't really known for boxing right now, but shortly, with some time, they will be. I know I looked online. I saw, you know, like 24 registered boxing gyms in the area. That's a lot.
Right.
That's a lot of boxing gyms. So there's got to be a lot of talent in there, and we're going to find it. So
hey, keep in mind, while North Carolina wasn't known for boxing, Omaha, Nebraska wasn't known for boxing not that long ago either. And look what happened.
Great point. Look at that. All right. So anyway, super excited about that. I'll let you guys know more about the February 4th show. That'll be in Wilson, North Carolina, right outside of Raleigh. So just stay tuned. So let's punch in. Let's recap this weekend's fight results. And let's go to Puerto Rico, where Juan Manuel Lopez stopped Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. in the 11th round. And then the biggest brawl erupted after the fight. It was mayhem. It was wild. Jay, did you see the video on Twitter?
I just looked at it and it was a rumbling night for everybody that night, not just Juan Ma and Wilfredo.
Let me tell you, Juan Ma, he was losing that fight, and he came back in the 11th round and was able to knock out Vasquez. And I haven't seen such chaos after a fight since Jeandra versus Mayweather, when their corners went at it and the fighters jumped in the ring. Juan Ma went for the corner, and Vasquez's trainer clocked him with a left hook. Juan Ma was swinging back. I mean, it was wild. Obviously, there was some real animosity there. I saw Stay Cool Wheels on Twitter tweeted, you know, that Juan Ma is like the comeback fighter of the year, the Rican fighter of the year. You know, they're screaming to make the Gamboa fight again. It was super funny. It was entertaining, to say the least. Poor Juan Ma. We thought he was shot.
I know. I'm still afraid for Juan Ma and his aspirations of future fights. I mean, the next fight could really be the one that does him in for good, especially against somebody like Gamboa, if they do make that fight. I'd like to see Juan Ma kind of ride off into the sunset and be like the Boricua ambassador that like welcomes people to the island when they have fights there, like Juan Ma Lopez, you know, when you get off the plane and he welcomes the fighters and you know, either that or just make sure that they got some arroz con gandules and pastelón in the press room when we get there. You know, that's what I want for Juan Ma, because I don't want to see him go down a bad road. Ambassador to boxing de Puerto Rico.
It'll be interesting to see what's next for him. You know, fighters have a really hard time walking away from this sport. Even when they say it's their last fight, it normally isn't their last fight. Brandon Rios went on television. Remember that one time and said he's retiring, and now he's not. We'll talk more about Brandon Rios in case you missed it. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see who goes after Juan Ma. So anyway, some big fight announcements were announced last week. Want to catch everybody up on those. Showtime officially announced their upcoming fight schedule, and it is pretty robust. I must say, it's pretty beastly. So December 10th, we talked about Clay Armadas, Charlo J. Rock. January 14th, we're now getting Badu Jack versus James DeGale. January 28th, Frampton Santa Cruz. February 11th, Adrian Broner versus Granados. And March 4th, Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman. Lots of toss-ups there, Jay.
That is a lot of firepower. And with this fight announcement, we can pretty much see the writing on the wall for what's going to happen with the Heyman stable. There are some guys that are conspicuously missing. You know, we saw last year, we could see Robert the Ghost Guerrero got him a bunch of fight opportunities. Sean Porter can't get a fight, and arguably his fight against Keith Thurman was a great fight that people would have liked to see again. So, you know, we see what the pecking order is over on the Heyman side of the street. It'll be interesting to see if they fill out the rest of the year. Is this all the cards they're going to do for the coming year? You know, what's the deal? Is Adrian Broner actually going to make it to February 11th? We'll have to tune in and find out.
Yeah, you know, talking about Sean Porter, I did reach out to Kenny, and usually I get responses from him right away. He's a loyal listener to the Morning Punch-In show here every Monday, and Absolutely. I was not able to get anything back from him. So that tells me they're either working on something or they're just keeping to themselves for the moment. Let's just leave it like that. But usually I hear right back from Kenny. Kenny's to listen and hit me up. So anyway,
I hope so. I like that kid.
Out of those fights that we talked about, do you see any upsets? And I hate to say the word upset because they're all kind of 50-50. You know, they're toss-up fights. But if you see an upset out of these fights, who do you see upsetting who?
As I look at these fights, there's two stand out to me. I'm still tossed up between Garcia and Thurman, although I think Danny Garcia is going to beat Thurman. No disrespect. You know, Thurman's been on the show a number of times. I think Garcia is going to beat Thurman. But to look at these two, it's two that stand out. I think Frampton is going to beat Santa Cruz again. And I think that Granados could mess Broner up if he's not paying attention. If he's not focused and shaking it off in training, I think Broner is going to lose, and I think Santa Cruz is going to lose again.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think if there's an upset here, I'm going to pick Granados over Broner. And again, it's really not an upset. You know, I think they're probably equal at this point in competition level. And Granados wasn't brought up easy. He fought some tough opposition. I'm still going to rock with Frampton like I did the first one. But, yeah, I think that Broner-Granados fight is probably going to be the most interesting. So moving on, PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, rolled into Season 3 last week, and they announced their broadcast and cable schedule. So this is what we're going to get in 2017. The PBC series will continue to broadcast on Fox, FS1, Spike, NBC, ESPN, and Showtime, and on Bounce TV. So Fox is going to get about 3 shows. They said Fox Sports 1 is going to get about 25 shows. NBC, 3 shows. ESPN will broadcast 12 shows between April and August. Spike is going to get some regular shows as part of their Friday night platform. And Bounce TV is going to get some quarterly shows. And Showtime is going to broadcast select PBC fights. So obviously the bigger fights, like the Garcia-Thurman and the Frampton-Santa Cruz and probably like Jack-Gale. So they're going to probably broadcast the bigger ones. But, you know, that's a pretty robust schedule. I mean, there's a lot of dates there. Heyman's got a ton of fighters. I still don't know if that's enough dates for 200 fighters. But they rolled out a pretty strong schedule, got everybody excited. I kind of remember they did this last year, though. And then halfway through the year, we were like, what's going on? Right. You know, don't give us the good foreplay and then fall up short at, you know, when it comes to sealing the deal. We're trying to get all the way to the end of the year. We don't want to have prematurely get excited and then to close out the end of the year. So let's get something really, really great happening for the whole year. But that is a fantastic start, and I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Or should we take a look and see if we got some TMPS responses, RB? Yeah, do it.
Okay.
It was a good question you threw out there.
Yeah, so let's see what we're talking about. Damon Prather Damon says, I don't mind a trainer boosting up their fighter as long as they're willing to back it up. Thank you, Damon. And so far, that is the response that we have. Like I said, I think trainers are talking too much. You know, media days, of course, workout days, etc. If a major thing happens with their fighter and they want to give a quick quote, great. But you open up Boxing Scene and every article is about a trainer talking about his fighter, someone else's fighter, and that's it. I'm over it. It's either Abel or Robert Garcia, or it's that's the two that I see the most. But
talk
hey,
about Robert Garcia. He's been signing fighters on the low. Okay, he's been going to other states like Texas. I heard he just signed a kid from Philly, a Puerto Rican kid out of Philly. He is on the low, getting all these amateurs fresh out of the farm system, and he is signing them to trainer management contracts. And they are all going out to Oxnard and Riverside or wherever his gyms are, and they are training out there. Jay, we have another response for TPMS. And so the question you asked was, are trainers talking too much? He says, this is Ronnie, Mr. Wright, 1986, says, not all trainers, mostly Abel Sanchez and Freddie Roach.
Oh, yeah, Freddie. Can't forget about Freddie. Freddie's cooled down a little bit, but Freddie he still got the raps, too.
Yeah. We've got about 5 minutes before Gervonta Davis calls in. Now, before Gervonta calls in, we've been wanting to talk to him for a long time, Jay. This kid cracks me up on Instagram. You know, when he first came on the scene, I'm like, who does this kid think he is? He acts like Broner, you know? But then I just realized that, you know, he's not really Bronerish. You know, it's kind of funny, but he's got these Twitter fingers. You know, he's always on Twitter talking crazy. And he signed with Floyd Mayweather, and, you know, Floyd was boasting about him earlier this year that he was going to be the next big thing. He was going to be the next Floyd Mayweather. And then we saw Floyd, you know, in Rio saying that Shakur Stevenson was going to be the next Floyd Mayweather. So, you know, how does that feel to a young kid in his stable to hear the switch up? And where has he been? Why has he been shelved? Why isn't he fighting Jason Sosa? But then we're going to have some fun with him, too, you know, with his social media. And, you know, he rocks like a million chains. And, you know, we see him going to Dubai with Floyd and all these other things. So we want to have some fun with Tank. He's a young kid. We want to have some fun with him.
This is a young guy, something to remember. And also fighters as a whole have a lot of ego and at the same time are very, very sensitive. Since we're going to stick with this whole Baltimore theme, if you saw the promo that we did for the show, you know, we kind of channeled The Wire since he is from Baltimore. If I had to equate Gervonta to somebody from The Wire, maybe we'll make him a little more kind of like Bodie. Bodie was a soldier. He was loyal. He did what he had to do. Unfortunately, he came to a kind of crappy demise. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Gervonta, but if I had to think about somebody on The Wire that I would equate to him, we're gonna call him Bodie.
I'm glad you brought that up. I want you to ask him that. Well, first of all, hopefully he's watched the show. I'm sure he has. But you can ask him that day. Who does he think, you know, reminds him on The Wire of himself? That would be a good one to see what he says there.
He'll scare the hell out of me if he says he's like Stringer Bell or something. Like, oh, shit. All right, bro.
Or Omar. He better not say Omar.
He better not.
We're going to play some Know It or Blow It with you guys. Questions aren't too hard today. You're going to have to put your thinking cap on, but for the most part, it is going to be regarding boxing this year and some memorable moments this year. So if you're willing to play, the number is 718-508-9852. Press 1 if you want to play. We'll see you on the switchboard and know that you're wanting to play. You know, one thing we forgot to talk about is that it is Pacquiao-Vargas fight week.
Yes. Shout out to Christina Puncher. Right. You know what? I saw an article, and it made me really sad. The headline of the article, I'm not going to big up the site. You can find it if you want. Manny Pacquiao's fighting this week, and nobody cares. That was literally the title of the article. And it was a major site. It wasn't one of our guys that we know personally in our media circles, but it was an article from a major site. Manny Pacquiao's fighting this weekend, and nobody cares. I'm like, oh, I didn't even read it yet. I might have to go back and read it. That's sad.
Oh, well, you know, there's no way to sugarcoat this. I think that there's been some really good promotion, you know, trying to push this. I see sponsored ads everywhere that pop up online, on Facebook, on Twitter. Something is missing. You know, maybe Jesse Vargas didn't talk enough, or maybe you just don't believe him enough, you know, but then he gets in the ring and he surprises you. You know, the undercard, we got Jesse Magdaleno versus Nonito Donaire. I think that should be a good one. But I'm looking for the steam. Hopefully this week it's overload. If anybody wants to give us their predictions, I mean, Jay, what do you think? Pacquiao Vargas, who you picking?
I think that Jesse will come on too little, too late. I think Pacquiao is going to dominate him and just kind of box his ears off for the whole duration. I don't think he's going to knock him out. He's a tough kid, but I think he'll come on strong at the end like he did with Bradley. But Pacquiao's going to box his ears off. It'll be a showcase. And God, come on, I love Jesse. We know I love Jesse. I'm not being facetious, but let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah. Well, the night before there's a fight at Treasure Island, and I was mentioning that Jesse Hart is on the undercard. I don't think it's going to be televised, but they matched him really tough with this guy out of Phoenix. His name is Andrew Hernandez. It's going to be a tough fight for Jesse Hart. He's just getting back from surgery on his hand. They're saying that it healed well. I think that's the hotline ring.
All right. Let's see who it is. 404, you're on with the Morning Punch and Show with RB and J. Who are we speaking to? 404.
404.
Oh, me?
Man. Yeah, you.
Oh, I was like, Gervonta Davis.
What's good, Tank? Can we call you Tankster? What are we going to call you today?
That's all what I want.
All right, I'm going to call you Tank. I'm going to call you Tankster. Listen, during this interview, if at any chance you need to plead the fifth, we're going to give you 2 chances to plead the fifth. So if we're talking about things you just don't want to talk about, you can plead the fifth, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. So, listen, in the beginning of the year, you were hot as fish grease, okay? You were very active. We saw you fighting. I even really grew to like you. A couple times, Tank, you came at me on Twitter because I had said, I really like this kid, but, he needs to mature a little bit. And you were like, don't come at me, son. I ain't the one. I was like, whoa. So you came at me kind of vicious. And I started peeping your Instagram, and I was like, oh, man, he kind of reminds me of Broner. I'm not feeling that. But then I saw you mature a little bit this year, and I was like, you know what, he's just a funny dude. So is that who you are? I mean, you just like to have fun?
Sometimes I be in my moments. I'm always on defense mode. When I was coming up, like you said, I was fighting a lot, so everybody was throwing their opinions out, So when I see negative things going at me, I'm from Baltimore, so so I had to let people know, don't play with me. I'm not no regular boxer. I will come in, story. I'm not going to sit on it in this interview.
All right. We're going to need you to talk a little bit closer into your phone and a little bit louder just so our listeners can hear you. So I was saying earlier this year, you had Floyd behind you. He was pumping you up as being the next Floyd Mayweather. Then we saw him in Rio say the same thing to Shakur Stevenson. How did that make you feel that now he was in Rio telling Shakur that he was the next big thing, that he was the next Floyd Mayweather?
I mean, he's a promoter. If that's how he can get his fighters, then I do the same thing,
Mhm.
Shakur is a great fighter, but I don't see him nothing like Floyd Mayweather. I'm not saying Shakur is not I'm saying his style. Shakur is not a Floyd Mayweather style. I think Shakur has his own style.
Mhm. There was a big fight for you in the works, and it was between you and Jason Sosa. So I'm going to give you a multiple choice here. I'm going to let you pick why this fight did not happen. And if none of these are the reason, then you could tell us why it didn't happen, okay?
Yes.
Because we were really excited about this fight. So, 1, was it too soon? Number 2, was there not enough money in the pot? Or number 3, were you afraid to fight him?
To be honest, I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know what happened. All I knew, I went on Twitter and I seen people saying I priced myself out. I'm wondering how I priced myself out, and nobody never come to me. I never seen no contract or nothing. All I knew that we was fighting Jason Sosa. Then I seen WBO, announce it, and then I was just going into camp.
Don't you want to know why the fight didn't happen? Because now the kid's going over there and he's fighting in some other country, and we still have yet to see when your next fight is.
I definitely want to know what's going on. Best of luck to him. I don't know the other guy he's fighting. I didn't know Jason Sosa till, they said I was fighting him for the belt. I'm rooting for him to win his fight. Hopefully we can fight in the future.
Well, I think it'll be a good fight, especially for that area. Jay, you got something?
Gervonta, so let me ask you, or Tank or Tankster or Big Pimpin' or B More or whatever we're going to call you this morning. You said you always in defense mode. Now that you've been in the game for a little bit, how do you tune that negativity out? Is it just you go wild out and fly off and have a party or go somewhere, or how do you kind of manage that scrutiny that you get now? Because you're going to have it. The higher you go up the ladder, the more people the more eyes on you. So how do you plan on managing that now?
Just not paying attention to it. I'm actually right now that I was just coming in the game and I was just getting that crowd behind me, like on the TV side. So right now, basically, I have to prove myself to the boxing world, what I really have, and that's what they really want to see. They don't think it's the only thing that they have a powerful fighter or can hit. I don't have no skills. I'm not experienced. And the guys that they're talking about is the people that only have a certain, not over 10 fights in the amateurs.
Mm-hmm.
And I just expressed this to fight hype. Y'all got people that's fighting for belts and tongues, and these guys don't even got no background on boxing. Amateur, I think it's boxing. Down the chest and over California for all the Mexicans and all that beat them. And they talking about I don't have enough experience. They only say I'm the new face. I'm the new face. The new face on, hot as hell.
Tank, do me a favor. Roll your window up because you're breaking up a little bit. And I want to ask you, roll your window up, close out the Baltimore air for a little bit. And I have another question about you. Speaking of styles, so, you talked about that style. I caught the last part of what you said about styles. And then, you giggled when we brought up Shakur Stevens and you said he doesn't have Floyd's style. What is Floyd's style? And what is it that Shakur doesn't have? And what is it that you do have for the people in the back who couldn't hear you because of the window?
Oh, no, I'm not comparing myself. I'm not saying I have a style for it. I don't have a style as Floyd. Floyd is only, you could pick parts from Floyd, but Floyd have his own style. Everybody had their own style, I believe.
Right.
They could take some things from another fighter, but people had their own style.
And what is your style? In your own words. We have our ideas of what your style is, but how do you describe your style?
I know how to adapt to a fighter. I don't know what specific style I have, but I know how to adapt to a fighter when I'm inside that box with that fighter.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this, Tank. If I had to describe your style, I like your body work. I enjoy watching that. I love fighters who you could tell work on that in the gym, and I think you're real vicious to the body. I think that is a signature of yours that is different from a lot of people, where a lot of people are like, oh, he's got a nice jab, he's got a nice left hook, you know, and I think with you, your body work is crazy. So I think for me, that's your signature. So I want to talk a little bit about your activity now. So earlier in the year, you were really active, and then all of a sudden you seemed to slow down a little bit. And Floyd did an interview on Fight Hype where he was saying that he wanted you to move to Las Vegas, and he was upset with you because you didn't take his offer to move out there to go in a better environment, you know, in a nicer city than Baltimore. And so he seemed a little salty that you wanted to stay in Baltimore. Why not go to Vegas? Why didn't you move out there?
That was a rumor. That rumor was that's a lie. I was in Vegas for a minute. I actually moved from Vegas.
Can you say that again? You're breaking up.
In Baltimore right now. I haven't been in Baltimore in a whole year, 4 or 5 months.
Where you been?
You said what?
Where have you been? You said you haven't been in Baltimore?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Hello?
Oh. Hello? Don't tell me this.
Paging Tank. Can you hear us? Gotta roll up that window.
Ah.
Breaking up.
No, you breaking up. Hey, can you hear us, Tank? All right. Can you hear us?
I don't know.
I want him to hang up and give us a call back. We want to finish this interview, but we want to make sure that everyone can hear him clearly. Lauren, if you're listening, why don't you have Tank hang up and give us a call back?
Right. He dropped off. We'll have him dial back in. So once again, you are listening to the Morning Punch-In Show with RB and J. Why don't we take a quick little commercial break, and then when we come back, we will see if we can get the man back on the line.
Yes.
Are you looking for a website that has all the latest and upcoming boxing events, plus unique and stylish boxing shirts and hoodies for men and women? Go check out RagingBabe.com. It's your one-stop shop for the most current boxing info and fresh boxing apparel for him and her. Shop online today at RagingBabe.com. Use the promo code RB20 at checkout for 20% off your entire purchase today. That's code RB20 for 20% off your entire purchase today, only at RagingBabe.com. So join the movement and see why attitude and loyalty become passion and determination, only at RagingBabe.com.
And we are back. We are waiting for the tankster to rejoin us. But in the meantime, coy young man. I liked his little snicker when we brought up Shakur Stevens. That was a nice little snicker.
And you know what? He answered that very honestly. Floyd's a promoter. That is exactly what Floyd is supposed to do, especially if he wants to sign guys, you know. And does Shakur's style remind you of Floyd Mayweather? Not at all. So I think Tank was being really honest about that. I don't really think he meant to throw shade. I think he was being real honest. Shakur don't remind me of Floyd Mayweather either. I was saying that when all that came out. So hopefully the tankster can get back on the line. Jay, if you see the 404 come back, let me know.
Word.
If not, we could try to keep it moving here. We could do some know it or blow it, or we can go into in case you missed it. What do you think? What do you want to do?
Let's do some in case you missed it, because you know our listeners are playing with us this morning about that know it or blow it. I don't think they know as much boxing as they claim that they do. Got all these Twitter fingers with us on fight nights, but nobody want to play a little know it or blow it. Or actually, let's wait on know it or blow it. I think we got Tank back here. Y'all lucky listeners. We'll be back with you in a minute. Baltimore, stand up.
Tankster.
I don't know what's going on.
Listen, I'm gonna repeat my question for you because it was all breaking up and crazy. So what we were talking about was that several months ago, Floyd Mayweather did an interview with Fight Hype, and he said that he wanted you to move to Las Vegas, and you were being a little bit of a tough knucklehead, and you wanted to stay in Baltimore. So he was a little upset with that. Our question is, why didn't you move to Vegas? Why do you want to stay home?
I haven't seen that interview of Floyd saying that. But Actually, I moved from Vegas. I was in Vegas. I was in Vegas for I think I want to say about 4 months or 4 months or something like that. And I actually moved from Vegas, and moved back to Baltimore and started training. He was telling me that he wanted me to stay in Vegas, but by that time I already was preparing myself to move. Now I already drove my car back, made my what is it called? But my what is it called when you house.
Talk to us about Baltimore a little bit. I mean, that's your home. Did you just want to train at home? Is that where you feel comfortable? Is that where you feel more focused? Because a lot of people think that they have to move to Vegas, but in Vegas, there's a lot of distractions there, too. There's clubs, there's casinos, there's strip clubs, there's drinking, there's gambling. So did you just feel more focused in Baltimore?
Baltimore, actually, it's not Baltimore where I grew up from. I grew up at. So, me training there, that's what got me with Floyd. So why would I leave that? I'm not saying Baltimore is a good place to stay or anything like that, but I grew there.
Mhm.
Gervonta, I must ask you, everybody, when you're not from Baltimore, when you think of Baltimore, of course you think about The Wire. I know you're a bit younger than RB and I, but have you watched The Wire? Have you watched it completely?
I watched snippets because people from my gym was in The Wire. And
Oh, really?
Trainer, that was based on my coach.
Oh, wow.
And coming home, that's my coach.
Really?
Man that played on The Wire. Yes. The little kids that was on in the back of the ice cream truck, they the kids that was in the gym. I wasn't on it. I was in the truck with school, and my grandma was being a part of it.
Okay, we got you cutting out again. So I think I heard you say that the kid in the back of the gym is someone you know, or
the
that
kids
wasn't
in the
you,
back
you
of the ice cream truck.
Mhm.
Remember when they first come on, they sitting on the back of the ice cream truck?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, them kids, they are part of Upton Boxing. They was one of them kids I used to spar in the gym every day.
Wow.
And yeah.
Look at that. Okay, well, if you can hook me up with Weebay, the Wire version, not the real version, then help your girl out. Help your girl out. I did like Weebay.
Did he say he watched The Wire or no? Not really.
Bits
Not
and
really.
pieces.
All right. We were going to ask you who would you compare yourself with on the show. Are you like Stringer Bell? You like Omar?
No, I wasn't watching it like that. I was more into going outside and things like that.
All right. Well, that's your homework assignment. You need to watch The Wire. You need to catch up.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's talk a little bit about your Instagram. And talk to me about all these chains you got around your neck. Are they real? I mean, you got like 15 chains around your neck.
Are they real?
Can we get one?
Yeah.
Well,
can we get one?
Oh, I'm going to take this recording to court.
Yeah. All right, listen, all jokes aside now, let's talk about some serious business. When can we expect to see you back in the ring? Have they told you this year, next year? What's going on?
I was been told that I'll be back in the ring the beginning of 2017.
Excellent.
Okay, so you've been behaving, you've been taken off the shelf, you're going to get a fight, right? Behaving. You've been behaving?
Man, like what?
Well, I don't know. They put you on the shelf for a reason. You only fought a couple times this year, so obviously something happened and you got put on the shelf. So I'm thinking, now you're behaving, you're doing what they want you to do or something, and now you're ready to fight.
I don't know why I was put on the show. Or
You don't know
I
why?
don't even know. No, it was just I'm not gonna say I was put on the show because I was just in my feelings right at that time, so I just tweeted that somebody asked me when I'm fighting or something like that, and I've been told I was fighting Sosa for so long.
Yeah.
And the fight and me not having to fight. You know, people asking me when I'm fighting. I get asked that like a lot of times.
Yeah. Well, you know, for being so young, you have a decent little following. You fought on TV a few times when I'm pretty sure there were some angry other fighters that wanted to get TV time, and you were getting it. And, you know, you had Floyd behind you, boasting about you, and we started to really like you. You know, you had a lot of momentum going behind you, and I felt like that Sosa fight was great for you. And I like Jason Sosa. I love that kid a lot, but I've also grown to like you, and I thought, wow, that is a good fight. Whoever wins that fight could catapult into something so much bigger. So hopefully you'll get bigger opportunities like that next year. There's no rush, right? What's your record now? How many fights you got? What is it?
Right now he's fighting that window. We got to roll that window up.
Wake up, Tankster.
Huh?
I said, what is your record, boo? What is your record? Okay, we're going to have to let Tankster go. Tankster, it was a pleasure having you on the phone. If you could hear us, you're welcome back here anytime. You got some friends here with RB and J. Keep us posted on your next fight. And thank you for finally coming on the show. I know it took a while. Shout out to Lauren as well.
Hello?
All right. We don't.
Jay, yeah, we good.
I think we lost him. Yeah, when he's in his feelings, somebody take his phone away when he's in his feelings. Take his phones away. No tweeting, and don't let him buy stuff either. Maybe he should, let's see, what's some good exercises Tank could do when he's in his feelings? Maybe he should go out and maybe do some running, do some road work, or maybe, I don't know, cook some dinner, get some lake trout.
Yeah,
Is that what they used to always get on the wire? Get some lake trout and be good.
Yeah. We didn't get to talk about his Twitter, but we were going to talk about his Twitter fingers, how sometimes he puts some things out there that are super funny. But anyway, we tried to get him for a long time. We wanted to get the lowdown on what was going on. So I'm glad we finally were able to book him and get him on the show, and he was able to finally speak to us. So that's cool, though. Be on the lookout for Tankster early next year.
Right.
Jay, why don't we play a quick commercial or two, and we'll come back with In Case You Missed It, and some word on the curb.
Let's do it.
If you want the best, BoxStats beats the rest. BoxStats is the best boxing app for all you boxing enthusiasts and professional boxers. Perform a quick search and get all the info you want and need. BoxStats, available on the Apple App Store. Download it for free today. BoxStats, know your opponent. When the mind is ready, the body prepares for war. So next time you engage in battle, protect your hands with the best. War Tape, the original branded tape. Order yours now at wartapebrand.com and see why the enemy will fear you. wartapebrand.com. We put hands on you.
All right, in case you missed it, last week, Vanis, our buddy Vanis, he wanted all the boxing fans to know on Twitter that he is not happy with his manager, Al Heyman, nor his promoter, Tom Brown. He says they are holding me back. Vanis is now looking for a lawyer. Vanis is now looking for a lawyer. He wants to say nothing else publicly. I did reach out to him via text message. He kind of laughed with me back and forth, but wouldn't say much more than, just kind of laugh about his tweet.
Lying? Why you always lying? Oh, my God. Stop talking lying.
Vanis gonna stop talking in social media? Okay.
Oh, man. So this is how I see it, Jay. Vanis has actually gotten some really good fights, to be honest. Okay? He fought right. Willie Nelson, Jermell Charlo. He got the Ishe Smith fight on pay-per-view. Then he got the Lara rematch. Nobody wanted to see that Lara rematch. So he's actually had it a lot better than most PBC fighters, but he is constantly complaining and crying. I mean, I get it, though. He just wants to fight. And you know what? He probably doesn't like the sound of it. that now he's probably going to have to fight the guys like Jared Hurd and Lubin and Tony Harrison and maybe like an Austin Trout. You know, he wants bigger fights.
Oh, well. Tough Kitty is a lot of guys out there who want your spot, bruh. So if the grass is greener on the other side, make your next move your best move and do what you got to do. In the meantime, regarding you not talking on social media anymore.
Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop your fucking lying.
Give Bonnet some mic and let him go. I don't know. I don't know about our dude. He's just wilding. I mean, man, he's really out here. He's just wilding out. That fight schedule has made it clear what the pecking order is over there. It's 10,000 other fighters over there, and it's slim pickings. If Sean Porter couldn't get in the primary fight schedule, Bonnet better have a seat. He's had it better than Sean, so he better chill.
Sure has.
He better chill.
Brandon Rios was released from his contract with Top Rank. His trainer, Ricky Funes, is very confident that Brandon Rios is going to silence the critics. He thinks that Brandon still has some good fights left in him. I think Brandon Rios might have one good fight left in him, and that would be against Victor Ortiz. And that is it.
I could not agree more. I couldn't agree more. At this point, his hands are kind of tied. Back in 2015, he said that him and Ortiz could sell out the Staples Center. I'm blank staring at my computer right now. Hey,
I don't know if that could happen today. Oh, Lord.
He's a free agent. Heyman could sign him for like a one-fight deal. He could fight Sean Porter. There it is. Look,
there's the fight. I'm sure Kenny Porter would love that fight. You know, Rios did say that it was just time to move on, that Top Rank did a really good job for him and promoting him, but he is seeing what's out there. He's been talking to TMT, Golden Boy, Roy Jones Promotions, Rock Nation, and Al Heyman. So far, he has not made a decision on, you know, who he's going to sign with, if he's going to sign with anyone at all. Bob Arum did co-sign that he is a free agent and that he also enjoyed working with Rios. So looks like there's no bad blood there, no love lost. I don't think Top Rank wanted to re-sign him or extend his contract anyway.
No, he ran the table with Top Rank. He did. You got Pacquiao. You got a Bradley fight. You had the 3 with Alvarado. Top Rank did real good for him, and so now it's just time to see what's on the other side. So hey, Heyman Boxing, Sean Porter versus Brandon Rios. Let's do it.
Yes, do it. Saul Rodriguez opens up about his split with Robert Garcia. That was via Fight Hype. He said, our contract is up. We just decided to move on, go our separate ways, looking for a good opportunity, yada, yada, yada. Says his next fight is going to be on a much higher level. I think Neno done lost his mind. I really do. I don't know what his next fight is going to be on what higher level. He hasn't fought since May. He's not going to fight till sometime next year. He said that him and Floyd are just friends. Floyd is good people. He didn't say anything about signing with Floyd or if there's been any talks about that they're just friends. I think he's been bamboozled. I think when Floyd was out there in Oxnard trying to recruit Mikey Garcia, he probably fluffed the heads of the guys like Neno and Robert Garcia, like, I'll sign all these guys. And then when Mikey said, I'm not signing with Mayweather Promotions because I ain't got to. Richard Chase is back. He got me. Well, now what's that mean for Neno? And now Robert Garcia is like, Neno, you can go your own way. Terrible.
Robert will be all right.
That did not work out.
Hey, that's one less nickname he got to remember. That's just one less nickname.
Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade versus Jack Colkay. The fight has fallen apart. They were supposed to fight this week in Germany. Okay, the fight fell apart a few days ago because apparently there were still some contract issues, and Boo Boo didn't get things back to the promoter by a certain deadline. So either way, okay, the fight's not happening. This is typical Boo Boo business, you know. Right when we're, on his train and rooting for him, this happens. Now, here's the silver lining is that now he could fight Lara. Lara is said to be fighting in December. We'll talk about that during Word on the Curb. But they should probably try to make the Andrade fight now with Lara.
Absolutely. That's a
Andrade's been training. He thought he had a fight this week.
Yep. And hey, what's his name? Laura got time. Got nothing but time. So hey, why not? Well, let's see here.
We have a special guest calling in, and actually he's in the queue. But before we bring him on, we're going to bring on Red Spikes, who is the co-trainer of Terrence Crawford. Last week it was announced that Crawford versus John Molina has been agreed to for December 10th in Omaha. The IBF champ, the Russian kid, just wasn't ready for that Crawford work. Molina has beat Ruslan, who everybody wanted Crawford to fight at one time. Remember that? John Molina's ranked top 3 in 3 of the organizations, but fans will never be happy. Whoever Crawford fights, they're not going to be happy. So let's bring on Red Spike so he could talk to us about the style matchup and just the matchup overall.
What's good, Red?
What's up, girls?
What's up, Red?
How y'all doing? What's up, Jay?
We miss
What's up,
you.
RB? I know, man. I ain't hollered at y'all. We've been busy. We've been working.
When you going to camp?
Man. Huh? We headed in about a couple of hours. We're going to leave in a couple of hours. We're going to work Bud out in like 20 minutes and then get on the road. He's going to fly in tomorrow. We're going to drive there today. So, yeah, we're going to be good.
So, we know that you guys won all the belts, and you guys tried to get the IBF Russian guy to take the fight, and I don't think he was ready for that work, so you guys had to go to Plan B, and, you wind up with John Molina. Why are some people kind of shitting on the fight when he just beat the killer, Ruslan Pravaznikov?
Because that's what they do. I mean, it's just, that's just how the fans is. I don't even pay no attention to it no more. I used to always argue with people, Twitter fight with people and shit, and it's pointless. I mean, whatever we do is gonna be an excuse. Like we beat Postal. Postal wasn't, he wasn't ready. He wasn't. Matisse never won a big fight, and we knew he was gonna win. Like everybody just flip flop. There's a whole bunch of flip flop, and when they don't like you, it's just like when they like you, they'll make any excuse for you. You know what I mean? When they don't like you or they want to see you lose, then any excuse in the book of why you won, you're just not that good. It's just something about you that they don't like. It's personality. It don't have nothing to do with whatever's in the ring. That's just how the fans is, and I don't even care. Like, to be honest, whatever. Tune in or don't.
So John Molina, he got the big win over Ruslan. And a lot of people wanted Crawford at one time to fight Ruslan. So, now he's getting the winner. John Molina's ranked top 3 by 3 different organizations. Tell us about Molina's style and how that's going to match up with Crawford's style. If you could break that down for us a little bit.
It's going to be a good fight. It's not going to be. It's a good fight for the city of Omaha to actually go see, because there's going to be a lot of action in that fight. You know what I mean? John Molina's not a real defensive fighter. He's a come-forward fighter. You know what I mean? Pretty basic. He's tough. He seems strong, got a good punch. You know what I mean? So we got to be careful. We can't take no one lightly. You never know. Mickey Bay was beating him in 11 rounds.
Right.
And got knocked out in the 12th, so he has that punching power. You've seen how Broner fought him. Broner fought him moving away from him the whole time. Didn't really too much engaged. So he obviously had to have some kind of power. I think Hank Lundy said he hit him the hardest he ever been hit. So it's just like you just do your research on, what other fighters are saying about him, and you take it serious till you get in there and you test it out. But I think it'll be a good fight. It's a good clash of styles. You got a slick boxer versus a puncher, a come forward puncher. You know what I mean? So it'll be a good fight, a good exciting match.
Tell me about y'all reaction. You guys didn't think you guys were going to fight until 2017. HBO had no more dates available. You guys were looking at maybe January, February, and then, Canelo got injured. The Golovkin-Jacobs fight fell apart, and HBO was like, we got to have our boy Crawford back on then, And without hesitation, it seems like you guys were ready. You guys weren't in camp. You guys didn't have a fight coming up, but it was kind of like, all right, let's go.
Well, Terrence stays in the gym. He stays ready. You know what I mean? So it's not like, we're not doing like full strenuous training in between fights, but he stays in the gym in between fights, keeps his weight down. He plays basketball. He does a lot of physical things. I mean, we ride bikes on trails. You know what I mean? So it's you know what I mean, he's constantly doing some physical activity, and he hits the gym 2 or 3 times a week in between camp just to work on little things, just to get better. You know what I mean? And just any given day, he might come in and spar 8 rounds with 3 different people. You know what I mean? Granted, it's not, you know, high-quality work, but that's something to be said, to come in and just walk in off the street, off a vacation or something like that, and be like, hey, I want to spar today. You get ready, and you get ready. You know what I mean? He might call me out. Come on, coach. I need a couple rounds out of you. You know what I mean? So that's just his temperament, and that's how he's a true professional, and he's always ready. So it's just like, okay, we just got to turn it up a notch. You know what I mean? We're already at a certain level, so we just turn it up.
Was he hyped that he was going to get a third fight in this year?
Well, we was hype. I mean, shit. I mean, we want to stay active. You know what I mean? We want to stay active. We want to keep collecting these W's. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, we wanted one of the titles, one of the champions, Ricky Burns or Troy Yansky. I mean, we want to chase titles. You know what I mean? We don't want to fight. You know, we really don't want to fight John Molina or fight people that don't have, like Fuse Diaz, don't have a title. And you know, we wanted the fight to be meaningful. You know what I mean? It's
right.
You know, but to fight John Molina, you know, I mean, he's a credible opponent. He has a very good resume. He's strong. He can punch. He's coming to fight. He's not going to freeze up.
Yeah, he spoils a lot of plans.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So he got some good wins on his record against good fighters, against good competition. So you know what I mean? Is he's a credible guy, and I don't. You know, the fans will say, "Oh, you never know till you get in the ring." So I mean, that's what it is. We just got to make sure we're prepared. We're not taking him lightly. You know what I mean? Terrence is going to go to camp and get in tip-top shape so we can go out here and do it and put our best performance out.
Let's talk a little bit about this week. It is Pacquiao-Vargas fight week. There's not a lot of buzz about this fight, but can you talk to us about Pacquiao-Vargas a little bit? How do you see that fight playing out?
I think that it's a good fight. I don't think it's going to be. I don't know. I mean, who knows until the fight happens? But on paper, you know what I mean, I favor Pacquiao to win that. I love Jesse Vargas, though. I love Jesse Vargas, and I actually, deep down inside, I'm pulling for him. You know what I mean? Like on the business aspect, it's like we want Pacquiao to win so we can face Pacquiao. You know, so
right,
you know
right.
What I mean? But at the same time, you know, as a fan, I love Jesse Vargas. He got hard. He comes to fight. It's going to be a good fight in that aspect. But I just think Manny Pacquiao's hand and foot speed might be a little too much for him. And you know, I think that Vargas does have a puncher's chance to knock Pacquiao out. You know, if he catches him, and you know, Dewey Cooper been working pretty good with him. I met him out in Vegas. Told him, I'm like, man, I like what you're doing with Jesse. You know what I mean? So I mean, he always got a chance, and ain't no telling. I mean, they might have a good game plan, and might be able to do some things in there. And I just hope to see a good fight. I think we'll be out there for that fight. So I hope I get to see a good fight.
All right. Well, listen, thank you for calling in and catching us up with everything going on in camp. I'm sure we'll talk to you guys again during camp. Have a safe trip out to Colorado today, okay?
Okay, Jay, that was genius, that wire intro for Gervonta, because he's from Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
He's from B-More. That was genius. I caught on to it right away. I was like, that is fire. That is, I love the wire,
Thank
too.
you.
Killed it.
Huh?
What we didn't know is what he told us when he was on, when Window was still down, that his trainer is the character that Weebay is based on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We didn't even know that.
Barksdales. I love the Barksdales. That was my crew. I never liked Marlo and them. They was grimy. I was always a Barksdale. So that's what's up. Shout out to Tank, though, man. I hope he, you know, man, I didn't get to listen to the interview. I'm going to go back and listen to it. Shout out to Tank. Hopefully we see some things out of him. I love to see him and Tevin Farmer pretty soon. That'll be a great fight.
All right.
So y'all have a good one, and I'll be in touch with y'all in the next couple of days.
All right, cool.
Be safe out there.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.
All right.
You just never know who's going to call the show.
You never, ever know.
We got like 2 more in case you missed it, and then we'll throw the word on the curb, and then we'll wrap up. We're right here just about at the hour mark. So we talked about Crawford Molina. Okay, the IBF has ordered Kell Brook to start negotiations with his mandatory challenger, Earl Spence Jr. Brook has asked the IBF for a 60-day medical extension. Earl Spence is expected back in early 2017. Sucks he didn't get his third fight in this year, but he'll be back early 2017. Vernon Forrest, the third man who murdered him, gets life in prison. So some justice there for Vernon Forrest. Thank you, Jesus.
Right.
The murderer got life in prison. So good for him. Listen, let's play some Know It or Blow It. If there's any callers on the line that are willing to play with us, 718-508-9852, press 1 now so that we know that you want to play. We'll ask you a question. We'll give you 10 seconds to play, and you could win some free gear from the Raging Babe store. Jay, is anybody daring to be great?
No, nobody's daring to be great. They're sitting here listening, but nobody wants to dare to be great. Come on,
promise
man.
The question isn't even that hard today.
Man, EYES is still my favorite. That was a good one. If YES spells yes, it was EYES. That was a really good one. I like that one.
All right. Well, we'll just go right to Word on the Curb. So Word on the Curb is there's a fight in the works. I did tweet about it a little bit last week, but it got no steam. And that is Thomas Williams, Top Dog, versus Marcus Brown. So that's being worked on. Islandi Lara versus Yuri Foreman is being worked on for December 16th. Now, here's what happens on social media. I put that Word on the Curb out last week, and the fans slaughtered that fight. They hate it. They were making fun of it. So now, the higher up people, they do look at social media and they're like, should we really make this fight? Should we be looking for another option? Now with Andrade's fight falling out of Germany, now Andrade is available. So why not make Lara versus Andrade in December? It makes perfect sense, and it's a good fight.
Absolutely.
So, Lou DiBella or somebody holler at me. Let's make that fight happen. Word on the Curb is Al Heyman really is not playing with these young kids anymore. In 2017, they are going to have to fight. So, for example, Thomas Williams versus Marcus Brown. Marcus Brown, you're going to have to fight this year, period. You guys are going to have to fight. There's no more free money. There's no more big paydays to fight these showcase fights. They're going to have to fight. And I was told by a few different people on that side of the fence that these guys are going to have to buckle up. They're going to have to sink or swim, and that is all there is to it. They've been spoiled. They've been coddled, and enough is enough. It's kind of messed up the marketplace. Jay, you want to give us this weekend's fight schedule, and then we'll wrap up here.
Absolutely. This weekend, Friday, November 4th in Corona, California on Showtime, Constantine Bajanaru versus Steven Buhai. So that's going on in Corona. That's in kind of in my neck of woods over there on the east side on Showtime. Also on Friday, November 4th, if you are in Vegas on Unimax, Casey Ramos versus Andy Vences. So look out for that one. And on Saturday, of course, the pay-per-view in the main event, Manny Pacquiao versus Jesse Vargas. In the co-main event, Nonito Donaire versus Jesse Magdaleno. And our friend Curtis Stevens also on that card. Right.
All right.
So that is the weekend fight schedule.
Let me ask you an honest question. Are you buying the pay-per-view this weekend?
Oh, where's my dog? I can't find my dog. I think the iron is on. Hold on, RB. I got to go turn the iron off.
Oh man, I'm probably going to buy it. I know I'm going to buy it. If you need me to FaceTime you so you can watch it, or if you have any other way, let me know so I can watch it that way too. But I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna watch it just because I'm a junkie and I have nothing else going on Saturday night.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. It's gonna get watched. It's gonna get watched. That's for sure. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, listen, we appreciate you guys for listening today. Visit badculture.net, ragingbabe.com. Thank you, Jay, for always being the most amazing co-host. Catch us every Monday morning from 8 to 9. It's the Monday Morning Punch and Show. Thank you for making us part of your day. It's a wrap.
Goodbye.